सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम। Can I join with my computer, Nipa? Last time, let us chant at least so that we may recollect. From verse number 15, 1-5. The first verse, I'll chant twice, once alone, and then all of you join, and then we'll chant together all the verses. Nashtamanaso कृत्यमस्ति किं स्वस्थितिं यतः दृश्यवारितं चित्तमात्मनः चित्तदर्शनं तत्त्वदर्शनं मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात् वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः विद्यहं मनो वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मनः अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वत ऐपतत्यहं निजविचारणम् अहमिनाशभाज्यहमहं तया स्फुरतिरुत्स्वयं परमपूर्णसत् इदमहं पदाभिख्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनके प्यलयसत्तया विग्रहेन्द्रिय प्राणधीतमः नाहमेकसत् तज्जडं ह्यसत् सत्त्वभासिका चित्तवेतरा चित्तया हि सत् सत्तया ह्यहम् ईश जीवयोर्वेषधीभिदा सत्स्वभावतो वस्तु केवलम् वेशहानत स्वात्मदर्शनम् ईशदर्शनम् स्वात्मरूपतः आत्मसंस्थिति स्वात्मदर्शनम् आत्मदर्शन आत्मनिर्द्वयात् आत्मनिष्ठता कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलम् कर्म किं परं कर्म तच्चरम्। Last time we discussed that ahankara is the basis of the mind. And to know the mind, we have to question who is this ahankara, called as atma vicharaha, or you can call it as self-inquiry or atma chintanam, whatever you call it. This, to understand what am I or who am I, we have to do this atma vichara through shastra and with the help of a competent teacher. And who is a student? Student is a one who is willing to change. Student who is willing to see the truth. Student just doesn't doubt the validity of the Shastra or the statements of the teacher. He accepts them as it is. But then that acceptance is pending discovery. Acceptance without pending discovery, you can call it andhashraddha or blind faith. Rejection outright because it looks contrary to my experience, contrary to my notions or beliefs or ideas or whatever. That is ashraddha, absence of shraddha. Shraddha means accepting them to be true, pending discovery. And the student has a right to question, and when he or she questions or raises a doubt, the doubt is not raised to falsify the statement of the Shastra, not to just counter them for the sake of countering, not to assert my views, but it is to falsify my own views. It is to clarify my understanding, to see, question is asked to see the truth behind those statements, cognitive. That means, that is called surrendering. Surrender of the buddhi. And surrender of the buddhi means surrender of notions, surrender of prejudices, surrender of misconception. And then there is a buddhi, all right. Buddhi per se is not totally given up. An objective buddhi, buddhi which can think objective, keeping aside my prejudices and ideas and notions, and just think and see, or the buddhi which can be led by the teacher to the new heights of discovery. So buddhi is led by teacher. The way teacher thinks, students learn to think, and that is called Shraddha. And that is picturized, as we said last time, by this famous picture of Bhagavad Gita. Fortunately, there is no Gita Mata in India. There are so many Matajis to be worshipped in India. But Gita Mata is missing. That's good. When they want to say, put a picture of Gita, there is a chariot, Lord Krishna sitting as a charioteer, and Arjuna sitting behind with the folded hands. And Lord has turned towards him. And Lord is holding the reins. That means mind. And when the reins are pulled, the horses are stationary. That means sense organs are available at that moment. They are free from any kind of restlessness or activity. And it is thinking buddhi. That buddhi, when teacher looking at Arjuna with a methodology of unfoldment, unfolds the Shastra, Pujya Swamiji often used to say, student has no choice but to see, because it is a pramana. When you open the eyes, you have no choice but to see, because eyes are the means of knowledge. Similarly, Shastra is a means of knowledge, provided you have Shruti Matas Tarkonu Sandhiyata. Your rational works in alignment with the Shruti Mataha, Shruti opinion, Shruti vision. And of course, to see the vision of the Shruti, you need the teacher who can unfold the Shrutis, Shruti Vakyas, because they are in the form of the words. Words always lend itself to be misunderstood or not understood. And secondly, the Vastu to be communicated is never ever the direct meaning of the words. It is to be seen as an implied meaning, Lakshartha. So to convey the implied meaning, one has to build a context. And that's a job of a teacher, one who lives make sure that Vachyartha is knocked off and Lakshyartha is seen. When that kind of teacher, Sampradaya with is available, Buddhi has no choice but to seek truth. And what is seeing the truth? Ascharya Vakta Kushalosya Labdha Ascharya Gnata Kushalanushishtaha. That one who sees is an Ascharya. Communication is an Ascharya. Seeing is Ascharya. Teaching is Ascharya. That means there is a feeling of awe, discovery. And when knowledge is gained through this pramana, means of knowledge, it is not negative. It is not, there cannot be any vagueness also with reference to this knowledge. And this last end, in the end we saw the teaching is a grace. To have a teacher is a grace. Teacher teaching the Shastra is a grace. And myself being available to learn at that time, given time, is a grace. Not physical availability I am talking, mental availability is a grace. And the grace is earned by punya of so many janmas. Aneka janma samsiddha. So many janmas satkarma fructifies, where you get a competent teacher who can teach Shastra. The most, I would say, agonizing situation for Hindu Dharma is there are so many teachers, religious leaders talking about Hindu Dharma. And the irony is they talk nothing but they talk anything and everything but Shastra. They don't talk about Shastra. And people are ready to buy it. The people are ready to believe them. And they give some psychological solution and some little meditation and mental peace and something, bhajan and some Ishvara, etc. They believe it. And they go for it. So I would say in Kali Yuga, it is extra grace that you come to a teacher, you come to a Mahatma who teaches and inculcates in you a value for learning, converting mumukshu into jignasu, and that is the grace. Now, this is inquiry of ahankara, nija vicharanam. What is the culmination of this nija vicharana? What is the culmination of this self-inquiry? That is being told in the next verse. Please look at verse number 20. We will chant together twice. Okay? Ahaminashabhajahamaham taya Spuratirutsvayam paramapurna sat. Ahaminashabhajamaham taya Spuratirutsvayam paramapurna sat. Ahaminashabhaji aham taya Rutsvayam spurati paramapurna sat spurati. Ahami nashabhaji sati. When ahami nashabhaji means when the aham means ego is destroyed, when ahankara is annihilated, the right word would be when the ahankara is falsified, then what it is? Aham taya spurati. It reveals, shines self-effulgently as I. What? Rit aham taya spurati. So the prose order is ahami nashabhaji. When aham is falsified, rit Aham aham taya spurati. Truth means the self reveals, shines as I. Swayam by itself, shines by itself, reveals by itself. And it reveals as, further it says, reveals as what? Parama Purna Sat. Okay? Limitless, fullness, existence. These two words may appear to be same, but we will see there is a shade of difference. It reveals itself as limitless, complete existence. When ahankara is destroyed, the limitless, complete existence, that is the self, that reveals by itself as I. Now, where is this ahankara born? This ahankara, the trick, as I said, there is a duality here, aham vritti and idam vritti. But that I sense is born out of ignorance. When you take one thing as other than what it is, the cause for such mistake or such an error, we call it ignorance. When I take the rope as snake, then you say, why? Why do I take this rope as a snake? If it is a rope, why do I see it as a snake? The answer is ignorance. Here ignorance causes aviveka. Aviveka means viveka means discrimination. Aviveka means taking one, not seeing one as it is. Seeing one something other than what it is. Okay? And that aviveka or discrimination, lack of discrimination is called adhyasa here also. Please understand. There is a typical problem. This consciousness, because of this antahkaranam, we have seen this in detail in Tattva Bodha, sukshma sharira, and sukshma sharira being in contact with sthula sharira, lends its sentiency to body-mind complex. Okay? The consciousness as though lends sentiency to body-mind complex. The sunlight as though lends light to solar panel, because of which there is an illumination in your room through power, electricity. Similarly, there is a sentience. And this sentiency and this ahankara, this sentiency, sentient physio-psycho-complex, somehow there is ahankara is born, which is hodgepodge. Traditionally, we give an example to explain that. What kind of hodgepodge? Suppose here is an iron ball, huge ball of iron ore. It is black since it's iron ore. It is cold because it's iron. It is round in shape. And here is a fire which is in orange color, like a rising sun. When you see that. Rising sun it is hot in color, hot to touch, and it is formless. Now somehow, when the iron ball comes into contact with a fire, keep that iron ball into fire for some time and bring it out. Then you call it a fireball. There is a third entity. it is neither fire nor ball. Because if it is fire, it cannot be ball. And if it is ball, it cannot be fire. So the two things are mixed up. That is, I call it hodgepodge. What two things are mixed up here? When you reveal your identity, I am, and that in that I am, there is a form, there is a shape, there is a quality, there are some attributes. Men or women, Indian or American or Canadian or Argentinian or Japanese or Brazilian, etc. Their identity is added. Now this ahankara is called ahankara. Ahankara, like a fireball, is a mixture of two, fire and iron. So there is consciousness which is which made this body-mind sentient. There is a sentiency in I, and there is a form and shape. So sentient body-mind complex is ahankara. And this ahankara keeps on wearing different hats. Once it wears the hat of a body, there are millions of hats it can wear. Man and a woman and husband and a wife and a brother and a sister and a friend or a cousin or neighbor, all kinds of hats. I am healthy or I am sick or I am handsome or I am beautiful, I am ugly, I don't look good, my skin is not tan and blah blah, it goes on endless. Once it wears the hat of the mind, all kinds of hats it is. I am happy and I am unhappy and I am a little anxious, and Swamiji, I am very concerned what is going to happen to humanity. This corona, Swamiji, they come to us as though Lord Krishna, when he went to Vaikuntha, gave him the charge. I am not here, you take care of this Mother Earth. After me, you are there. What will happen? Krishna vaya gaya, tu hi vaya java. Someone better. There is all kinds of hats that fellow wears. It goes on wearing this hat, and this in each of this self-identity, there is I plus something. I is consciousness plus something is, we call it Upadhi. Why we call it Upadhi? Without connecting to consciousness. Consciousness being formless, attributeless, cannot be connected. By mere presence, imputes its attributes on the consciousness. And that is ahankara. That I plus something belongs to Upadhi. And that something is always limited. That something is always dukhi. Whole world may say, this fellow is very sukhi, but he will say, I am param dukhi. So, and then when you say, I have met people, I said, yes, you are fairly happy, good. Swamiji, you don't know. That's how they start. You don't know how dukhi I am. I know you are not dukhi, but I don't know how you make yourself dukhi. Because I have forgotten that art of making myself dukhi. You create a self-pity, I am very paganizing. And then they boast also. There is subtle ego also. If anyone else would have been in my place, Swamiji, he or she would have committed suicide long ago. Then you also commit. Better. But then there is a self-pity thinking. I don't know thinking. That is I plus something. That something means aham dukhi. I plus something means something is aham limited. I plus something is aham subject to limitations of desha, kala, etc. That is always. Now see this vakya. When aham falls, aham shines. Ahami nashi, nashabhaji, aham spurati. So aham is used for, twice it is used, and aham is used for, that means there are two ahams? No. There is only one I. Okay? First aham is used for ahankara. And the second aham is used for your swarupa, what you are. Okay? Ahami nashabhaji. When aham falls, aham reveals. What kind of revealing and what kind of falling? This is like when the pot is destroyed, the clay reveals. See, please understand this. I told you, Vedanta is to be understood through implied meaning, not direct. When aham is destroyed, aham reveals. To explain this, I gave this example. When the pot is destroyed, the clay reveals. Here, the word destruction of the pot. Pot is destroyed. The word destroying or destroyed is not to be taken as direct meaning. And clay reveals. That is also not direct. Both you have to see the implied meaning. What is the implied meaning of destruction of the pot? When you recognize that pot is nothing but name and form. You need not hit the pot and destroy it. You need not throw the pot and destroy it. And when it is broken into pieces, then only clay reveals. No. Even while the pot was there, clay was revealing. In fact, the fact that the pot was revealed to you, it is because the clay was revealing. Had there not been clay revealing itself, you wouldn't have seen the pot. What you call and see as a pot is nothing but revelation of clay in a given form and given name. So that is called revelation of the clay, and that is called destruction of the pot. Destruction of the pot means recognizing the fact pot is nothing but name and form only. And revelation of the clay means recognizing that whatever pot is, was, or will be, is, was, and will be only and only because of clay. Clay is the substratum of the pot. The isness of this name and form belongs to clay, not to pot itself. Understand? This is the implied meaning of destruction of the pot and revelation of the clay. And this is what the implied meaning of destruction of ahankara and revelation of consciousness. Destruction of ahankara means whenever ahankara was, is, or will be, its very existence is because of consciousness. Consciousness was there, because of that ahankara got revealed. So it is not that ahankara consciousness is to reveal after destruction of ahankara, recognizing the fact that ahankara is just a notion. Ahankara is not real. Ahankara is just a name and form attributed to I. Ahankara is just functional. This recognition is called destruction of ahankara. And revelation of consciousness, meaning the recognizing the consciousness as the very substratum of ahankara. And the so-called pot, as we saw, was nothing but the name and form. That is called as the existence of name and form is never on its own. A form depends on some substratum to exist, and the name given to that form is you can say empirical, provided you belong to same society. Something you call something and others call it differently. In a sense, all of us decided to call it as a pot in English, so it became a pot, and we Indians decided to call it a gata, so it became gata. So nama gata is only vak avalambanam matra. Vacharambhanam vikaro namadhyam. Vrittiketyeva satyam. The substratum is only claim. So when ahankara is destroyed, meaning thereby the reality of ahankara is discovered. Reality of the pot is discovered. Reality of the ornament is discovered. Like a teenage girl or young girl who is she likes modern fashions and always conscious about his designs of the ornaments, etc. And she just cannot recognize the gold. She just sees the design. This is a new design, or this design was worn by such and such a heroine in such and such a movie, or such and such a party or Grammy Awards, and I am having blah blah, whatever it may be. So then she looks at only the form and the design. But then when she recognizes the gold, that is the substratum of all the designs, that is called destruction of ornament. Ornament per se is not cut into pieces. It was destroyed. Now, even if she likes a design and the goldsmith tells the price, and if she knows this is not gold, she is not going to buy it. Because she knows this is not worth it. This design is good, but I can't pay so much for it, where it is pure silver or some other metal, not even an iota of gold. It looks like gold. So that is called destruction of the form, name and form. Ahankara destruction doesn't mean there is no ahankara. Ahankara will have empirical reality. Pot will have empirical reality. Ornament will have empirical reality. If you want to wear in your ears or something, hand, you need ornament. But destruction of the ornament means the ornament itself or per se was taken to be real. You recognize it. The gold is real and not the ornament. That recognition, that knowledge, understanding the nature of the gold is called revelation of. Okay? After knowledge, ahankara, when ignorance is gone, Vigreka knowledge takes place, ahankara is destroyed. People literally try to destroy ahankara, and I have seen them in aggressive posture. The Guru told, destroy ahankara. He becomes ninja to destroy ahankara. That itself is ahankara. You just be cool. Let it be there. Poor fellow ahankara is superimposed on the consciousness. That's all you recognize. It is superimposed on the consciousness. Like the pot is nothing but superimposition of a form and name in the conscious, and let it continue with that. So, it is like wave resolving into water. Wave continues to be wave. But then you know it is a water which is now available in the form of wave. Okay? So, ahankara destruction means recognize that qualitative adjunct to I, attributes to I, belongs to Upadhi. And as long as the prarabdha is there, those attributes will be there. But then Upadhi being there will be connected to consciousness, and that consciousness, Vyavahara, will necessitate that Ahankara Vritti, and then let it be. It is called technically Badhita Ahankara. Or Swamiji would say, enlightened ego. Okay? What is enlightened ego? An actor playing a role of a king or a beggar or a smuggler or a police inspector, whatever. When he plays the role, he doesn't miss his self-identity. He knows I am such and such an actor, and I have to play such and such a role. So while playing the role, there is self-awareness. Always. That is called enlightened ego. He may be begging, and then may have beggarly expressions on the face, may have beggarly tone in seeking some alms. But then that awareness continues that I am not the beggar, this is a role that I am playing, and that is called aham spurati. The real I is always revealing to him. He cannot miss himself because that is self-evident. He is self-conscious. And in spite of that, he may say, I am beggar. That I, that ego, that beggar, you can say enlightened ahankara. Enlightened ahankara means that I with the self-awareness. And ignorance, once gone, never comes back. And therefore he says, Spurati Rud Swayam. The self being self-evident self, it reveals itself. And it is Parama Purna Sat. Sat means it is the very existence. The easiness of the pot belongs to the clay. The pot is in the borrowed existence of the clay. Clay is, therefore the pot is. And pot, clay is not, pot is not. So the ahankara is that I am. I am is because consciousness is, which is Sat. And it is Parama Purna Sat. Parama Purna means limitless, unconditioned limitless. Okay? Sometimes you use this word limitlessness, like for heaven. You go live there for limitless time. When it is too big, you use it. But to make it more clear, Parama Purna. Parama Purna means unconditioned limitlessness. Not conditioned by time or space or objectivity. So I am that consciousness which is the substratum of all eyes, all the forms, like the water is the substratum of all the waves and breakers and whatever it is there in wherever it is. Time, space and objectivity doesn't limit it. So that is called Parama Purna Sat existence, and it's Swayam Spurati. It is consciousness, self-revealing, self-existing, limitless awareness. That is I. In other words, that you recognize yourself to be limitless, unconditioned, limitless consciousness existence. Whatever is that existence is borrowed existence, borrowed from me. I am the existence. Therefore, it is called Sat, which is the existence because of which everything is. Relatively speaking, all the golden ornaments, whatever is that easiness of all the ornaments belong to the gold. They exist in the borrowed existence of the gold. Easiness is nothing but gold. So also I am Sat Swarupaha. I am self-revealing Sat Swarupaha, unconditioned. Every name and form. No name and form can limit me. I am neither limited in terms of time, nor space, nor object. Spurati Rata Swayam. When Ahankara is resolved, what is left is self-effulgent, self-existence, limitless awareness. That is I. So, it is, you can use this modern word, paradigm shift. Shifting the I sense from name and form, from upadhi to the consciousness, which is really I. And that awareness is called ahaminasha bhaji. That happens when you learn from a competent teacher, learn the Shastra, self-evident I is no. Okay? In other words, all the thoughts are resolved into awareness. Whether it is idam vritti or aham vritti. Whether it is sukhakar vritti or dukhakar vritti. Whether it is harshakar vritti, udvegakar, whatever is a form, thought form, there is any thought of any, all the thoughts are resolved into consciousness. Aham thought also. I am dehabhimani, indriyabhimani, pranabhimani, manobhimani, whatever I is, that I is resolved into pure consciousness. I discover this is what I am. And all these identities, I am man, women, young, etc., they are just incidental. Incidentally with reference to upadhi, I am so and so, otherwise I am pure consciousness. Spurati Erut Swayam Parama Purna Sat. This is called destruction of Ahankara. This is called resolution of Ahankara. This is called destruction of mind, Nashtamanasa. And this is called Vritti Nirodha. Freedom from all the thoughts. Freedom from all the thought doesn't mean absence of all the thoughts. Freedom means falsification of all the vrittis. You stop giving realities to all these thoughts. You discover that real thing or real vastu is only I, the consciousness, Chaitanya Atma. Everything else is superimposed. Dukkha, sukha, etc. All that is there is nothing but superimposition on the awareness that is me, and that awareness is untouched, is asangaha, is nitya shuddha, nitya mukta, always pure, always free. That is I. Let there be any thoughts going on. I don't care. That is Purati Rut Swayam Parama Purna Sat. And that is called freedom. Understand? What is freedom? Freedom is, you can say this, resolution of all the thoughts into Parama Purna Sat. Resolution of Aham into Parama Purna Sat. Resolution of mind into Parama Purna Sat. And that is called Drashyavaritam, Chitva Darshanam, and that is called Naiva Manasam. All this means only this much. Now, here we can look into something also. People have all kinds of theories. Veda Bahya, those who did not study the Shastra from a competent teacher, and they had, this is called philosophy, that the figment of their imagination, some mental projections. They have all kinds of ideas that what is left when ahankara is destroyed. And even today there is a popular belief when ahankara is destroyed, there is nothingness. There is total emptiness. There is total void. This fellow is supposed to be an experienced teacher. And he is talking. When the tone changes, expression changes, and the eyes close, and it is destroyed. There is nothing but void. To say there is a void, there has to be something. That he forgets, that fellow. You cannot have nothingness. If there is nothingness, who is there to say nothingness is? Who is there to recognize that nothingness is? Who is there to own up that I am nothingness? that is Satyam. That is called Shunyavadina, traditional. There is one branch of Buddhism who say it is Shunyam. You know, when the mind disappears, you are left with simple void. Blankness, they call it. Thoughtlessness. And then they name it as a peace. You know, but then there is thoughtlessness. How do you know? To know that thoughtlessness was there in that samadhi, there has to be a thought. And there has to be someone to recognize that it is. Or I was thoughtless for the time, that I had a void, therefore I am shunyam. But who saw that shunyam? No. It is like saying, when there is a power, electricity, you see something. But if it's a pitch dark, monsoon, night clouded, so the whole sky is clouded and it is no moon day, and you see suddenly power goes off and you see eyes don't see anything. But there is somebody to see that eyes don't see. Nothing, I don't see anything, there is nothingness. Who says there is nothingness? That fellow is. You were seeing something. And in a pitch dark, you say there is nothing. So then you say, I had an experience of nothingness. But experiencer, he cannot be nothingness. Because that fellow had an experience of nothingness. In a pitch dark, you didn't see anything. There was somebody to see that I don't see anything. That fellow is. So you cannot say, when the ahankara is destroyed, there is nothingness. There is void, and that is you. How do you know if I am void? How do I know that I am shunya? To say I am shunya, you have to be something. To say even, you have to be conscious. So, this is, illogical or ashastra. It is not a shastric view to say that there is shunya or void is the satyam. No. Satyam is parama purna satyam. And he concludes that section in the next verse and goes again, comes to little new topic, in a way same, but we'll continue that tomorrow and introduce that topic also tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri